My theme for the week is going to be drunk stories. Good times, good laughs, vomiting, embarrassment. I want all the gory details. Matt, I don't know what makes you think I would have any drunken stories at all. Hey kids, it's Mark, just kicking back with a Malbec. Hope you all had a good week. As you now know, Matthew picked the theme for this week, and the theme is all about drunk stories. Okay, so I decided to get some help from the friends on this one, and needed to know which ones I should probably tell you guys. There were a couple that stood out. So I went out drinking. I knew I had to be at work the next day. I had to be at work about, I want to say I had to be at work at something like noon. So we'd gone out drinking, and I don't remember much, but I remember my alarm going off on my cell phone to wake me up. And I'd gone out drinking in Florida and had woken up an hour and a half before I needed to be at work, allowing myself plenty of time to get to work had I been home. I woke up in Canada. Don't ask me how or the logistics of ending up in Canada, but try calling into work and telling them that you're going to be about 12 hours late at least. Thankfully, the boss was understanding, and yeah, we won't go there. I also have a tendency to get in a little mischief when I've been drinking, and so, yeah. When I was with my ex that you all know about, the one that was in the Air Force, he had a great handy set of tools. And we were taking a nice little walk down by this dock, and this dock was it was in this park, and it was lined with all these really cool light fixtures. And the light fixtures were really, really cool because they like cast this really, really peaceful blue light, and they just made the whole area look really nice. Well, I happen to mention how much I liked them. Yeah. Hence the reason. Yeah. But you gotta admit, the color's pretty cool. I should just do the rest of my video like this. Okay. Let's try it. And there was this lawn jockey that was parked outside of this little local dive bar that was on a pier. And he was a little bit of a celebrity. Everybody knew him. They would sign their names on him. And he made it through all the storms and everything down there, so everybody knew who he was. Well, he was chained down and locked, and that would deter most people, but for some reason, Mark and his friends kind of stole him and named him Paco Sanchero. Yeah. There's actually rewards and everything being offered for his return. So I painted him to look like a club kid so he wouldn't be recognized once I realized that the heat was on. Okay, the light is like on my crotch. It kind of makes me feel like I'm getting a blowjob from an alien. I guess it's time to tell you the classic Mark story. I can't believe I'm about to put this one out there, but we'll just go for it. This story is actually a combination of last week and this week's themes. If you are my mom, know my mom, or anything like this, please stop watching here. So as you all know, last summer I spent 2 weeks in P-Town. But it wasn't the first time I went to P-Town. The first time, actually, I need to preface the story. So I had been out one night, and I met this guy. We'll call him Chris, because that's his name. And so we were having a grand old time. Got to become friends or buddies, specifically F buddies, if you will. Come to find out he had a fiance. And I kind of, found out about this, and was just, I was younger, I was stupid, it was like, we wouldn't go there. So, we're playing leapfrog. Yeah, you can figure out what we were doing. And his fiance was at a bridal bachelorette party thingy. And so she was supposed to be out with the girls and not coming back, even though they lived in separate apartments. So, we're playing Twister, and shall we say the buzzer goes off with her trying to get in drunk to his apartment. So we kind of flip out, and we're throwing his clothes and stuff to him. He's doing this thing with the buzzer going, like, so she couldn't catch it right. So she, like, he was acting like the buzzer to buzzer in was not working right. So, meanwhile, we're getting dressed. I grab a blanket and jump on the couch, and we act like we were just out drinking, and that was it. We had a really awkward brunch the next day. Her ideas, not ours. So fast forward a few weeks, I had never been to P-Town. My two friends decided that they're taking me to P-Town that I worked with, and we all go out there. Now, P-Town, the bars close at 1, and then everybody meets in front of Spiritus Pizza. And it's like a big sidewalk sale, basically. And we were actually there getting pizza. I look over and I'm like, oh shit. There he is. And he was there with his fiance. So I kind of turn my back, act like we didn't see him. Everything's fine. We go back to where we were staying with friends over in Truro, which is actually the next town over from P-Town. The next night, the people we were staying with get drunk, and so my friend has to drive them back to the place, and then I have to go get the car, which is actually at where the other friend that we went with was staying with his boyfriend, and go get that and drive it all the way back to Truro. This whole thing should have taken me maybe half an hour. Pay attention, this is where it gets good. So I start walking back to go get the car. My phone rings. It's Chris. He goes, well, where are you? What are we doing? I'm here, like, I'm going to get the car. He goes, well, let me come meet you and we'll just take a walk or something. I'm like, okay. I should have ran away far and fast. Next thing you know, he yanks me into one of these little gardens. He's like, it's okay, I know the people here. I'm like, okay. So we start making out, and one thing leads to another, and eventually he's on his knees and he ain't praying. And I ain't gonna lie, I was drunk and it felt good. I wasn't about to stop him. Next thing you know, as if from a movie, the light goes on. There's a woman yelling, and I hear a glass smashing to the ground. I look over and there's this old woman screaming, and she runs back into the house. He's still on his knees. I'm trying to put the toys back in the toy box. And this older guy, followed by what looks like a clown car of people, come filing out of this house. The older guy proceeds to be like, Chris, what the hell are you doing? Which was pretty obvious what he was doing. Now, my phone starts ringing off the hook, and I can't answer because I'm dealing with all this crap. And it's my friends ringing and blowing up my phone, making sure I'm not wrapped around a tree. And as I'm trying to deal with the situation, I notice flashing lights. It was the police. As the police are arriving, out comes the old woman and Christopher's fiance, screaming, and then starts screaming at me once she realized what's going on. That didn't make it any better. Now the old woman is screaming that she wants me and him arrested for lewd and lascivious acts, indecent exposure, trespassing. Eventually, while the phone's still blowing up, the cops managed to tell me to just leave and go. And the woman's going, well, I'm not going to stand for this. I'm not going to stand for this. I want them arrested for this. And the guy's here like, we can't get him for lewd and lascivious acts. We can't get him for indecent exposure because we didn't see it. And as for the whole trespassing part, isn't he staying here? And the woman's here like, no, he's not staying here. And then the cop points to Chris and goes, well, isn't he staying here? Because she goes, he was. Well, the cop goes, at that point, if he's staying here and he invited him, then this guy's a guest. So I make it back to where we're staying, and my friend is here like, we're in P-Town, couldn't you find a gay guy? And the most amazing part of the story to me is, I still see them around town together, and I think they're still together. Okay, I have plenty of other ones, but I don't think I'm going to have enough time even after I edit this down. So you all have a great week. Winter, I will see you tomorrow.